Hi! And welcome back to Flowers in the wintertime. Well, we have arrived at what is very likely to be, for most of you, I imagine, our final time together. So let us make the most of it, shall we? That's right, we are here to wrap up this wonderful little series that I have been reading to you since December of last year. Can you believe it? We've been together this long. Or you were just here for your favorite parts, and that's okay too. But, yep, we got one more thing to do here. We just gotta put a cap on this thing. We have no more decisions to make other than loading the proper save file. So let's do that. I do believe that if we load this save file, we should be fine. So, it's definitely not the number of people to be sacrificed. It's the number of a soul in the Bible. All right. So here we go. This is the grand finale. Let us all enjoy it together. We're finally settling back into a normal daily routine as the early blooming cherry blossoms are starting to lose their luster and the Academy's spring break is beginning. Mayuri wakes up earliest and washes her face and takes her time brushing her teeth and doing her hair before putting on her uniform. Then she wakes Rika-san, who isn't a morning person. It's the same routine I bore witness to every day last year. Since Rika-san has gotten used to me being the one waking her, she often says my name in a sleepy voice. Sometimes Mayuri plays along, waking her up by imitating me with something like, "Come on, I want you to make tea for me, Rika-san." As it is, I can imagine her putting on her best Suo voice that is barely above a whisper. Once we're all ready, we head to the cafeteria. After saying grace, we tuck into breakfast, and afterwards, we're stuck into our homework. We've all been assigned homework over the break. That's always a bummer. It's absolutely the worst thing that could possibly happen. Whether we're part of the group going home for the vacation or a group staying at the dorms, still, it's not an overwhelming amount. And if we knuckle down and get our work out of the way in the mornings, we can all hang out in Iznik. We can all feel real important. We're all still wearing our winter uniforms, though. We're able to spend our afternoons however we please. And so today finds us all gathered in Iznik. Look at everything I did for you! I'm the friggin' president! We've decided to spend this afternoon sorting out the paperwork for all the council's projects, which is built up over the term. She should have done a really cute Erika impression. Come on, everybody's got an Erika impression. We need to hear Mayuri's. And yeah, you ain't wrong. She kind of, well, I mean, she was the anime villain of this particular game, so yeah, it fits that she would have a secret lair. Indeed, indeed. Hey, I know you. Rika-san and her two helpers come into the room with the tea. The Sasaki sisters place the teacups down on the table. She takes an empty cup and pours the tea into it with great skill. The scene takes me back to last spring. Nika-san bluntly responds that Suo-san is special. Everyone laughs. I mean, who among us does not believe that Suo-san is special? Just knock that shit out. Tea parties every day. Ringo-san glances over at me and I wave the papers I've been checking over to make sure that there are no big discrepancies in the proposed budgets. And they did it all for you. Not to make you feel guilty or anything, because I don't think you really did anything wrong, but they did it all for you. Much like that Perfect Circle song, Judith. Yeah, okay, her impression of Suo being president right now is absolutely spot on. Who would have guessed when we started this series that this is where she would be? No, you're an absolutely perfect fit now. It's just nobody would have imagined that in the spring. Mayuri, you've kind of missed out on a lot. I instinctively duck my head as she stares intently at me sitting behind the president's desk. Yeah, this girl's like a miracle child now. You are dating the most popular girl in school. Go you. You went away for 9 months, you came back, and you're dating the most popular girl in school. Go you! That's a hell of an upgrade. Mayuri's eyes are growing wider and wider as the twins rave about me, and I can feel my own face getting hotter and hotter. She says seriously, arms folded, and adds that she's noticed that everyone says hi to me when we go to the cafeteria. That's an understatement. This. Doesn't mean that this girl still isn't gonna like literally explode like a hand grenade if you keep this up. Like, y'all need to be careful here. I duck my head, face flaming from the compliments, and wait for them to move on to another topic. Although we're still on the same topic, I'm relieved that their target has shifted. Yeah, you kind of lucked out. You got the best Amitie partners in the school, got to go away and do whatever for like 10 months. Come back and you're dating the prettiest girl in school, and another one of your Amitie is literally the most popular girl in school, just in terms of straight up popularity. So good job, you hit the lottery. If anybody has clearly lived a past life that was awful and is being rewarded for it this time around, it's definitely Mayuri Kosaka.
最近は上級生にもファンが増えてるって話だけど。
And if we're talking people who have a more personal interest in her, there's always Buki, she says with an impish grin. Yeah! To a Buki! Get it, girl! Get it!
つわぶきさんですか。つわぶきさんって
Rika's new girlfriend! She's got two girlfriends, though. Hokama is also, definitely. So they got a polycule thing going on there. I'm pretty sure. I explain who she is, and Mayuri murmurs her recognition. That she's got the biggest boner for Rika! You know, just, you know, metaphorically speaking. Oh, don't act like you don't know! They're really oblivious. This. I think I get it. Mayuri nods. I tell her that Rika-san is the one who recommended Suwabuki-san for the council role.
確かに私が推薦したけれど、庶務になったのは彼女の実力よ。摂政も卒がないし、小さなところまで気が回るし、推薦してよかったわ。
I'm sure that with time you will notice many more of her wonderful and many more of her wonderful assets.
確かにこりゃ誤解されそうだ。
Yeah, I can see how that can be misinterpreted.
つわぶきさんも熱心ですが、最近合唱部のHokama Mizuki先輩も随分仲が。
Yep, got yourselves a little threesome there. A girl on each arm. There you go. She has enough braids for both. Ah! The twins laugh at Mayuri's joke, but I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. It's been a while since I last heard that name. It feels like I'm slowly forgetting something important. Having sorted through the documents without issue, I've come to the library to borrow a book. Hey! How's it going, girl? Oh man, it just hit me that like we're at the end of the game and this is like, oh, we gotta say goodbye to Erica. Oh no! Y'all, I'm going through it right now. I'm having that moment in real time. I don't like it. Oh, it just literally hit me that we're saying goodbye. We're doing the goodbye tour. Erika-san and Takasaki-san greet us from where they've taken up camp by the shelf of donated books. Sister Basquiat pokes her head in from behind the shelf and smiles at us. It feels like there's a gulf between us. Another one with a lady on each arm. Nice. Only one of mine's a lady. When Takasaki-san protests, Sister Basquiat gently warns her not to raise her voice in the library. I watch her, still unsure how I should interact with her now. No, there's not. I don't think there should be any ill feelings. It's just... It's definitely a lot. It definitely changes some things in terms of just like, well, y'all kind of had a pretty big secret that you were keeping from everybody and were actively working toward keeping us away from it in a very, very active, almost hostile manner. While I don't distrust her, it's like we've regressed back to where we were in spring, and I find myself unwilling to strike up a conversation with her. And I understand that. I think that's totally valid. You know, she is an adult. that has kind of done something that I think is worthy of maybe pulling back your trust a little bit. Not she didn't do anything out of malice, obviously, but it's obviously like if you're a teenager, that's gonna be something that, like, if somebody hides something this grand from you, I think it's obviously understandable why you might pull away a little bit. But I'm sure that it's something that they can cultivate again moving forward, provided all parties choose to be open and honest with one another.
それでお前らは何の用だ。白羽は委員の日じゃないだろ。借りていた本が読み終わったので返しに来たのだ。また借りに。
Erika-san nods, satisfied, and I ask her the same question.
私も以下同文ってやつだが、もう一つは八重垣さんに偶然会ったので面白い年はないか聞いていたの。
Aww. Like she's trying to, like, make amends in her own way, kind of, you know. Just the way I'm seeing it here. Your personal collection. Oh. It's mightily refined, I bet. The Black Dahlia, perhaps?
バスキア教諭にあれは目の毒だ。他の面白い本を見つくろうよ。千鳥も大変だね。エリカの趣味に付き合わされてるんでしょ？まあそうだけど、今まであまり本に触れてこなかったから新鮮で面白いわよ。勧められる本はみんな面白いし。
That's great. You can take an interest in in your partner's interests. It's like a give and take. You don't see a lot of that a lot of the times, and you see things kind of blow up because of that. So it's always nice.
私的にもリンゴから勧められるけど、どれも可愛いやつだしな。
They got big words in them.
怖い本、興味深い。
Oh, you got me. What's she recommended?
興味があるなら貸し出しますですよ。
As I watch Takasaki-san chatting with the twins, I think to myself how much she's changed.
お前は秘蔵本とかないのかよ。エリカさんとは趣味が近いから被っているような気がするわ。これも以下同文だな。図書室に置いてあるようなやつは大体読んでるしな。今度新しいジャンルに手を出してみようと思っているんだが。
Poetry, huh? I'm surprised that she's never tried reading poetry before. Telling her that it's a good choice, I flip through my mental post-it notes for something to recommend to her. But then I hear the word Iberis, and a gust of wind blows through my brain, scattering my notes.
そうですか。気落ちしているだろうと思って。気丈な方ですから。でもあなたが顔を出してくれるなら、イベリス様も喜ぶと思いますよ。
Yeah, like I guess that it would be like definitely weird, you know, the whole reason that this whole secret had to end, you know, like had to be and also had to end is gone now, but like it kind of makes sense that Iberis would maybe kind of actually get used to Mayuri being around, given that she'd been around for 10 months. And I'm pretty sure Mayuri still probably feels some kind, like I know that it was strongly tied to Alium that she was there for, but I'm pretty sure she had lots of interactions with Iberis as well, and that's probably where a lot of like the mother, like the familial side of Mayuri's heart that's been broken and that she's needed to fulfill. I'm pretty sure that Iberis has probably played a pretty big role in that, on top of, you know, also, you know, Alium. It's a private conversation between the two of them. A conversation only they'll understand.
私が顔を見せることで傷ついているのではないですか。初めはそうだったかもしれません。自分の娘が帰ってきたような。でも
I mean, it's definitely a weird thing, but like sometimes there are things in the world that are just weird, and it's not for us to understand or judge. You know, maybe like a sincere relationship, in terms of like something that feels motherly developed between them. And again, that's something Mayuri desperately needed before she could fully, embrace and kind of come to realize how much she also needed what Suo offered.
今は大体ではない高坂さん個人として年の離れた友人だと思っているはずです。あの人は根はいい人なのですが気難しいところもあるので気の置けない話し相手を必要としていますからね。
Again, it's weird, but I don't think that it's for us to understand. They laugh softly as though some part of their conversation is amusing.
面白くない。
Erika-san whispers to me. She's come up beside me and is glaring at the two engaged in their intimate conversation.
あいつにはいつも出し抜かれている気がする。おい、高坂。
なんだい？
図書室で大きな。
Quiet in the library! Get away from my nun! Where do you get off going away for 10 months, hurting the girl that I love, and now moving in on the nun that I love? GTFO and STFU in the library.
ああ、そうだね。知らず声が大きくなっていたかも。
それにここでは本を借りるもんだ。
It's to borrow books, not borrow nuns.
それもそうだ。それじゃあ八重垣さんが選んでくれないかな。処置だって話だしね。
She leans forward like an eager puppy, nosing up to a grumpy cat. Erika-san scratches her head, looking irritated.
やっぱりお前は苦手だ。
She really wants to be mad at her. She really does. And that every right to be. Every right to be. She's trying to stay mad. She's trying to stay very standoffish with her, but she knows eventually it's going to fail. She's going to get broken down. No, you did something to upset her, though.
うるさい。私は気に入ったやつに
Damn!
本を選ばない。
Damn! Damn! I mean, again, this is one you gotta earn back. This girl is not letting go so easily.
どうしてもっていう。
Oh, she's such a big softie at heart. I do love her so much. Oh, it sucks so bad that we're leaving Erika behind. Oh, why does the game have to end?
何？
明日はお前らが朝の食事当番だろ。私は
There you
うなら
go.
せるように朝食を用意してみる。
I knew it wouldn't take her long to just jump into like negotiating the terms. She's negotiating the terms of her friendship. Yes, of course. I'm sure Erika-san was joking when she said it, but Mayuri eagerly agreed that it was a deal. And now here we are making 2 dishes instead of the usual one. Oh.
確かまずはお湯を沸かすのよね。
This is so cute. She's actually literally doing it because she knows she screwed up and she does want Erika to like her.
その前に野菜をカットから始めないと。大丈夫だよ。もう火はつけてある。準備万端だ。湯だって危ないから、まずは野菜のカットから。落ち着こうみんな。ミネストローネだからトマト。
Oh, we're going back to minestrone. Let's go. I feel a sense of deja vu. The sensation gives me pause. It was minestrone back then too, wasn't it?
どうしたんだい？今は考えるよりも実行。
Now's the time for doing, not thinking. Don't think, feel, chop chop.
その前に手順をおさらいしないと。まゆり、もう一品って何を作るんだっけ？ジャーマン 私のおすすめだ。
We already had our hands full with the minestrone. Can we really handle another dish on top of that?
多分エリカさんは一品だけでもすごい。
No, I've really got to make it up to her. I know how bad I screwed up here.
私も以前好評を博したミネストローネだけでもいけるとは思うよ。思うんだけど。
Listen, I'm doing some kissing ass here to make up for something, so Mayuri is that smart enough to know. She's smart enough to read the room.
ジャーマンポテトは思い出の味なんだ。ぜひみんなに食べさせてあげたい。
All I can do is nod in the face of her determination.
ねえ、ポテトってこれだけ剥けばいいの？
早い。こんな短時間で。春の時とは見違え
Man,
だ
they're
ね。
probably doing it with knives too. They probably don't have a fancy potato peeler like I use, like a gigantic dork. They probably are just like, oh, look at me, I'm doing it with a knife, and I'm peeling one potato in 20 seconds.
料理部のスー
My mom could do that, and it drove me insane. Like, nope, just give me the stupid peeler. I'll just do it with a peeler. I can do it in about a minute. It takes an inhuman amount of dexterity to be able to peel a potato with just a knife. And that is an amount of dexterity that I do not have. I don't think peeling vegetables is a big part of baking. It must be the other one of those, it must be one of those natural talents. I watched Rika-san cheerfully mincing the tomato and Mayuri as they banter back and forth.
肉の匂いってそそるよな。
Oh god, yeah, garlic is
冬は
fantastic.
体が温まるし、美味しいし。
Like, they should literally just sell an aroma that's onions and garlic in a pan. Like, that's what that is the best smell in the world.
食べた後、お口が匂わなければね。
That's a good point. You gotta definitely brush your teeth after garlic. It's like nothing's changed between the three of us. A warm, fuzzy feeling tickles my insides and a giggle escapes my lips.
どうしたの？
おかしいところなんてある？
そうね。でもなんだか
Yeah, this has to feel real good for Suo in particular. Just everything is right where it belongs. Seeing me unable to suppress my giggles, my Amitie partners look at one another and grin.
だからな。昔と一緒なんかじゃないよ。
そうよ。前よりずっと仲良しだし、こんなに息が合うじゃない。
She tosses a chunk of potato into the pot. Mayuri set the boil.
そうね。春より腕が上がったってところを見せてあげましょう。
Feeling as invigorated as I do waking up to a balmy spring morning, I apply the skills I've honed at the cooking club to the ingredients before me. After saying grace,
2品も作るなんてやるわね。
aww, got our minestrone, we got some German fries. Yeah! The breakfast we made is laid out as a main dish and a side. Listening to their effusive praise of the dish's appearance is enough to make me blush.
以前食べた時と同じく美味しいですね。
これが変わらぬ味よ。味は上達してもいいんだぞ。ミネストローネは前と同じだな。さて、こいつはどう？オリーブオイルを多めに入れて、ニンニクとコンソメで味付けしたの。ブラックペッパーを少し振っている。
Oh! I do think we have managed to impress one Eruka Yaigaki.
やった。美味しい。
Yeah, she likes it. She's into it.
いいや、まずくらいの。
よかった。
Oh.
アリエルさんに教えてもらったんだ。
You listen here.
子供たちが大好きだったって。
Aww.
そうか。
It's a Basquiat family recipe. Suddenly, she's absolutely in love with and over the moon with it. As she savors the taste, Erika-san realizes that all eyes are on her, awaiting the verdict.
まあ合格だよ。認めてやってもいい。
Just had to add that extra Basquiat ingredient, right?
やった。
はいはい。でも、なんでそんなに執着するんだ。本のおすすめくらい白羽に聞けばいいだろ。
Oh, you know why she's focused on impressing you. She's doing everything she can to make it up to you. She knows she did a boo-boo.
前にスオが言ってたんだ。
Oh, look at her laying it in.
すごい人だって。アミティエが認める人に認めてもらいたいって思ったんだ。
That's so sweet. In response to Mayuri's forthright answer, Erika-san mutters an acknowledgement, then quickly stuffs her mouth full of fries and carries on eating with her head down. Oh, you got her! Like you have finally earned your way into the cat's good graces.
急に話題が飛ぶわね。なんだ。千鳥のした思い出作りだよ。
It's birthday time! I did? She cocks her head in confusion, and Ichiko-san points at me.
誕生日だよ。お誕生日会。
We gotta have Suo's birthday! Didn't she come here like right after her birthday? Like didn't school start like kind of like right after her birthday, so she's like the youngest?
そういえば。考えてみると。
Yeah, she was born in March, the last of all of you.
一番最後になるのよね。誕生日会。
You deserve it. I've celebrated everyone else's birthday, but I never gave a thought to my own.
誕生日ね。お前たちならサプライズで驚かそうとか聞く。
Are you sure her little heart could take a surprise?
驚かすのは好きだけど、サプライズ
They haven't always worked
失敗しちゃっ
out.
てるからさ。クラスで大々的に祝った方が楽しいですよ。
春休み中でクラスみんなでお祝いできないのは残念だけど。
Oh, that's kind of a bummer.
でもこの感じなら寮に残ってる上級生たちも誘って盛大にやってもいいんじゃないかな。
As I watch my friends discussing their ideas, hey, we're all glad you did. From the bottom of my heart, I'm truly thankful. Before I came here, I was always so alone. I felt like I was going around in circles, constantly worrying over whether I'd be able to make friends. If I go back in time and speak to that girl who walked so fearfully along the dark path toward the academy,
こんなにも素晴らしい友達と
oh,
アミティエで会える。
the difference a year makes. As the others all excitedly discuss my birthday, I look to my Amitie partners' thoughtful faces and think of the summer. And of that wonderful summer day.
ミカさん、私、二人へお願いがある。
What are we doing? My request to my Amitie partners was for the same thing Erika-san once gave Takasaki-san and Takasaki-san to Erika-san.
ティエに捧げる歌。
Oh. Despite there not being much time left until my birthday, both Mayuri and Rika-san readily agree to compose a song with me. They're in charge of the lyrics, and I'm composing the music. While there is a sense of time pressure, I so enjoy the act of creating music as a trio that I become completely absorbed in it. I work on my vacation, homework, and council duties until lunchtime, then I dedicate the afternoon to composing. I've done it once before. That doesn't mean it's any easier this time. Again and again, I dip my cloth into the inner well of inspiration, then wring out every last drop until it's dry. Then, as I'm reaching the crest of my creative mountain, I have an unexpected visit.
久しぶりだね。
What are you doing here? A calm, casual voice echoes through the space. A silver-haired
素
optimist
敵な曲だわ。
and her little dasher and her little Dotson. Yeah, I almost said dashend there. It's because that is one of those words where I visualize it first. I don't know why. There are just words that like my brain sees first and then I say them and they're wrong. It's Dotson. Golden-haired pessimist.
会いに来てくれると。
口説きの文句としては最高の入り方だよ。
私も会いたかったのよ。白羽さん。
So y'all just like back now, or are you just wearing the uniforms because that's just the sprites we drew for you? Yuzuya Yatsushiro and Nerine Komikado. It's been so long since I last saw the former president and vice president of the Council of Nikaya. There's a strange sense of unreality to the pair now. Drenched in the crimson lights falling through the stained glass windows. They're both so beautiful, they barely seem human.
一度顔を出しておくべきだと思ってね。
白羽さんには随分。
Oh, they're playing the song! Oh, you had to get me one last time. God. Ugh. Protesting that I don't think that they were, I find my throat drier than I expected. My voice comes out raspy, and a cough follows.
大丈夫。まだ消えたりしないよ。
はい。ゆっくりと飲んで。
She pours me a glass of water from the nearby jug and passes it to me. It's only when I take a sip that I realize how thirsty I am. I feel the cool liquid moisten my mouth, slide down my throat, and settle in my stomach.
ありがとうございます。いいのよ。おかわりは？
大した集中力だ。喉が渇いているのに気づかないくらいなんだからね。
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's a very Suo thing to do. That's a very me thing to do. Like, if I get caught up in something for a long time, like, I can actually, yeah, I've actually done that where I've just, like, been so busy with something, either work or a personal project, that I literally just end up starting to dehydrate after a day or two because I just forget to drink because I'm just so invested in what I'm doing. Not now, though. I'm literally drinking water, so that's not a thing that happens. Not as normally as it used to. As they talk to me with a synchronicity that almost seems orchestrated, I start to feel like I've slipped into a fairy tale world. If I'm Alice, which one of them is the White Rabbit?
大丈夫です。本当に久しぶりですね。
実際のところはそれほど月日が経っているわけではないけれど、つい
なかなか会えない親戚に会うみたいに。
Knowing exactly what they mean, I nod. I ask them whether it's okay for them to be out and about here in broad daylight.
僕たちはお尋ね者だからね。その
You're wanted women!
でも平気よ。ここを離れようと決めているから。
Oh, you're finally just gonna, like, be done with this place? For realsy reals now?
まさか本当にやめてしまわれるのですか？
So, I guess, like, we have to kind of assume that if they didn't really drop out at the end of fall, then... And we know that they were basically kind of under the employ of the Basquiats, then they were basically kind of just probably in some kind of, like, situation where it's like, look, if you all, like, leave under these circumstances, it's gonna be real bad for the school, so here's the deal. We'll take care of you two if you take care of something for us. That's kind of like where I see this going. It might not have been on such, you know, Godfather-ish terms, but I kind of get the feeling that obviously, like, they couldn't have gotten... I don't think that they could have done a whole lot by themselves at that point. So I'm almost certain that the Basquiats have kind of been, like, looking out for them, and they've got some kind of arrangement to like, not really take care of them, but to assure that, like, look, we're not going to tell anybody about this. We're going to let you all do what you want to do, but we need a little something from you in the meantime. Let's make this mutually beneficial for everybody involved. For some reason, this causes them to exchange a smile with one another.
言った通りでしょ。
ああ、君の勘は外れたことがない。
八代先輩。
My questioning tone brings her cynical smile to her face.
何？ネリーと賭けをしたのさ。
Aww.
別れに食べてくれるかどうかもね。
そんな当たり前
Like,
です。
why wouldn't she be?
君たちを害しようとしたのに。
I mean, despite anything anybody did, I feel like this is a story of, like, I think people make mistakes, and they're making mistakes that I don't think that you should crucify them for. I think they're making mistakes mostly for the right reasons. Maybe you could even argue the Basquiats are doing the same. Maybe you could argue that what they're doing in terms of, like, bringing Mayuri or not Mayuri, but Shiam lookalikes, you know, it's maybe something that you could think about, but I think that, like, the mistakes that everybody's made in this series have all, like, largely been understandable after the fact. Like, when you stop to think about it, it's like, yeah, I get why you did that.
そんなこと関係ありません。ねえ、白羽さんならきっと許してくれると言ったでしょ。
She's a big softie, of course she would. Like, why would you take that bet? Like, why would you bet against that? Nodding, Yatsushiro-senpai's features soften. Then she walks up to me and hugs me tight. Aww.
八代先輩。
今まで僕は余計なことばかりしていたが、ただ言って君を二階屋の会の会長になるように仕向けたのが軽慢だった。
Aww. Seems like that is definitely something that led to a lot of good happening, despite the fact that a lot of really weird, awkward, and bad things happened in the process.
あのことがなかったとしても、ゆずりははあなたを後継者にと考えていたのよ。そう。
今日一日、ここと決別するために学院の方々を歩いて回ったよ。
I imagine there is. Y'all have been through a lot here.
学院のどこを歩いても、1年前の私たちが顔を覗かせるようだった。
僕はね、すごく場所や人は目じゃない、温かさや
Oh.
匂いで覚えたいんだ。一度見たら忘れられない。
Yeah, I think that that's really the most important a lot of the time. I mean, I mean, I say that, and I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here looking at pictures of my parents that are on my wall, and just kind of like, well, I don't know. I'd probably be real bummed if I didn't, you know, remember what they looked like. But looking at those things absolutely does kind of bring that warmth to the middle of one's chest. She squeezes her arms even tighter around me. I can feel her warmth and smell the scent of lilies.
よし。
これで
Oh, just gotta get enough of Suo. Gotta drink it in enough.
八代先輩。もう聖アングレカム学院には戻ってくることはない。
These two got their own journey to take. Like, it kind of feels right. It feels right that, like, this just isn't where they belong, I don't think. I think that they've got a whole life of their own that a part of it they've already figured out, and the rest they kind of need to figure out. This feels like the right choice to go with these two.
みんなへのさよならは
君から伝えてくれ。ああ、それと
What?
殴られたことは忘れてないって
Wait.
バスキア一族の
You can tell them goodbye for us. Oh, and tell the Basquiat family, or rather, the one member in particular that I haven't forgotten, that blow to the head. I mean, that doesn't leave a lot of... that doesn't leave a lot of options. It can't have been Dahlia. So... I mean, like, and I don't think Allium was getting up, walking around, bonking people on the head, so that means that Iberis is probably the one that bonked her on the head back in the spring? And so Iberis bonked her on the head to set up my... I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. Like, if you're gonna make somebody disappear, like, oh, you know, like, if Mayuri is going to be accused of doing something and then, quote unquote, kicked out of school, she disappears. And then, like, so she was trying to frame Mayuri for hitting Yuzuriha. But at the same time, like, by this point, I believe that by this point, she would have already started, like Yuzuriha would have already started sniffing around for Shion Basquiat, having done, like, the research earlier. Like, she would have come across that name when she was doing the specimen room stuff, I imagine, with the stuff with the teacher from a year earlier? So that's how she probably came into all of that, and then likely Iberis was just like, I'm gonna give you a good bonk in the head for getting close to that, but also this lets me take care of framing Mayuri so that we can pull her, like, make it look like that she's been suspended or expelled and pull her out so that she can go live with Aleum. And then afterwards, you know, like, whatever happens, you know, she goes to another school. If we go on, like, how it was explained, that she would, like, have her pick of, like, any other sister school. Obviously she wouldn't be able to come back to St. Ingracum because that would be weird. There would probably be a lot of questions under those circumstances. Now it's just no big deal because, you know, cat's out of the bag and it just is what it is. But that's kind of like what I'm guessing she's referring to here, is that Iberis bonked her over the head for, one, getting close to the truth, and two, she needed a reason to set Mayuri up, to like set everything in motion, basically. I guess that will just explain that, but I just stopped here. Oh, is she just gonna let that lay? Oh, yeah, she's just gonna let that go. I'll pray for your enduring happiness. Oh. And with those last goodbyes, they're gone. Yet I don't hear their words of parting as a final farewell. For within my chest, there burns a certainty. I'll see them again someday. Oh. Yeah, they gotta go do their own thing. So there's no need to cry. Yet I can't stop the tears from falling. March 16th. My birthday. There have been years when my birthday has been celebrated and years when it's been ignored completely. As far as I'm concerned, the day I add another year to my age is neither a positive event nor a negative one. I don't feel bad when it's forgotten, and when it's remembered, I simply smile for the sake of the person who's celebrating on my behalf. But this year, This year's definitely a lot more special than normal. Having celebrated the birthdays of my fellow classmates since enrolling in St. Enriched Academy, I understand. Celebrating a birthday isn't just about marking the transition from one year of your life to the next. It's a blessing that honors the people you're with and the time you're together. I want to cherish what I have in the here and now. I want to cherish the fact that I'm alive in this moment, here at St. Enriched Academy. Oh. Her whisper is clearly audible in the silent chapel.
その言葉って。ああ、聞こえてたんだね。つい聖堂のキリスト様を見るとね。
It's the same words she wrote on the back of the painting. Believing that those words were Mayuri's cry for help, I was able to forge my way forward. And the true meaning behind them was...
その言葉って今となっては理解できるけれど、学院長はマザーエルダーを指した言葉なのよね。
Facing the piano, Mayuri smiles and tells us yes. But it's not the gentle, sunny smile I know her for.
それも本当の一つ。天に行われるごとく地に行われるように。これは神の御心は天上で行われるように。ええ、だから神の御心がマザーエルダーなのでしょ。
Stepping up to the piano, I open the lid and brush my fingers over the keys.
マユリが告げていた意味の一つはそう。でももう一つは違うの。なぜなら
I speak directly to her.
絵画に記されてた一節に本来あるはずの言葉「御心が」という語句が抜けているの。本来ならば御心が天に行われる通り地にも行われますように。
Without thy will, it no longer refers to God. So without God, what might it refer to? I finally understand. I know what Mayuri was trying to tell me.
御心が抜かれた天に行われる
Yup.
地にも
Oh, that's so freaking good!
と決意と神は向か
To live as she wished, free from God, not under one's control. Oh, it's so good. Oh, that's so freaking good.
それって
Back in spring, the emotions that so tortured Mayuri Kosaka, the questions she agonized over, the reason she branded herself abnormal. Is it wrong to love another girl?
いけなくなってない。
The heart wants what the heart wants.
人を好きになる気持ちは
My Amitie like spring sunshine. There's that smile I so love.
ね、まゆり、スオさん、歌いましょう。私たちの素直な言葉は。
They're gonna end this game on a song of them singing together, and I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna be able to handle it. Oh God, nope. Oh, oh. Oh. I pull out the stool, set before the piano, and rest my fingers atop the keys. Before I came to the academy, I hated this instrument so much that I trembled before it. Yet it now feels so dear to me. Now, to coax from it the music that connects us.
始めましょう。
I'ma just let it roll.
光あふれた花園恋が芽吹く今新たなつぼみ花の言葉淡い色を抱きしめてふわりいつか夢覚め開く時を待ちわび包み込むように朝露が柔らかく撫でた揺れた胸の奥初めての感情が生まれて色づく夢よあの日咲き誇れ思い叶えて願い抱いて季節越えて愛しくほどけて染まる恋紅色の花光眩しく照らしたやがて並ぶ花たち見上げ開く命咲いた長い眠りから覚めてまぶた夢寄り添い寄せて見つめ合うように安らぎの香り
The seasons revolve and a new spring dawns. Buds begin to blossom, painting the academy in vibrant color.
私は忘れない。
I'll never forget
こ
this
の景
sight.
色を。
Flowers wither and die without proper care. That's why we feed and water them.
それは私たちも同
The
じ。
same goes for us. Our hearts require the same nourishment. And that's literally been the theme the whole time.
どうかあなたも
I hope that you
共に
too
歩
are
むアミ
blessed
ティエに
with Amitie of your
巡り合えますように。
own to share the journey with. Oh, God. Just rolling it right back to the beginning, huh? Damn. Damn, dude. God. I feel like they took the wind out of everything I wanted to say there, but yeah. Your hearts need nourishment. That literally explains everything that happened in this story. Again, this is just a story that literally just lives up to the namesake. Flowers, it's exactly it's there in the name. It's not trying to be clever or hide anything. It's just in the name. But before I get to some final thoughts, let's have a look in that gallery here. I know that these are always a big hit. I got a ton about to wish. Okay, wrote mine. What's your wish, Suo-san? No, don't look. It's embarrassing. Suo-san? Why is she so embarrassed? Could your wish be to do this and that? It's ridiculous. Rika, stop it. I bet she's wished to make 100 new friends. No, come back, fantasy. We should get going. We don't want to miss dinner. I hope my wish comes true. I wish for the three of us to spend the next Tanabata together too. Oh, Suo, why? Why are you so good? Isn't this fun, Erica? I can't believe you're still into the Ouija board. Okay, it's all ready. Let's get started. Place your finger. Yeah. Whoa, it moved. So you do love me more than anything. What are you talking about? We didn't even ask it a question. But you do love me, right? Fine, whatever. Happy new Nettie. You really made all this for me, Yuzuriha? Of course. Happy anniversary to the new Nettie. This cake is scrumptious. Glad to hear it. It makes all the effort worth it. I can manage a little more. I'm flattered. That's all I've got. There's just one thing left. I still have room for you. Who knew flowers would get horny right at the end? I'm so tired. Ballet practice is rough. Are you mad at me, Ringo? No. You're channeling Erica. I suppose you didn't notice. So insensitive. No! I don't. No, that's okay. I don't. That's all right. Ooh. All right. Well, I guess that's that. Oh, it feels weird. We've arrived at the end of our journey. It's like, this is it. Like, it started to hit me right when I started recording. I was like, oh God, this is the end. This is it. Like, we're wrapping up. And now it feels weird to be saying goodbye. This has been like 80 plus hours of this world that we've shared together. And now, save for one more video I'm going to try to put together, which is like a whole series collected on like my thoughts collected on what I thought of the series as a whole. It's over, really. Like, the game's done, and it's I didn't expect to kind of feel this way, but here we are. But I guess I guess we'll kind of go over some closing thoughts before I bounce on out of here and out of your lives. I feel like this was a perfectly fine end to the series. I think that the stronger focus on like the deeper mysteries at the heart of Saint Ingracum meant that they really kind of had to nail that. They had to knock that out of the park, and they had to be on point. And I think they did mostly a good job. There are definitely some contrivances that I thought we kind of got over in the first game, where I felt like they were kind of making characters act and look at things a certain way in service of just making the story work the way that they wanted it to. And I feel that like a big part of that here was leaving the Sasakis out of the mystery. Like after Suo had spilled the beans, like they didn't get pulled back in, and I don't really think that they justified doing that. Like they feel like they just kind of pulled them back in for that scene where it was like, hey, we need you to be the one to say, what if it's an actual key though? And that drove me insane, because we spent like 3 episodes screaming at the screen, hey, get the Sasakis involved. Like they were literally hanging out and having like story time, you know, ghost story time, and they still didn't find time to just like let them in on it. And you could maybe make the argument that it's because Yuzuriha was involved that they didn't want to do it. But I felt like at that point, everybody was already kind of just so pulled into what was going on that it kind of didn't matter. So that's definitely a part of the story that didn't 100% land for me. It didn't ruin the game or anything, but it's something that did drive me crazy for the duration that it was happening. I still think that there's definitely some weirdness to the way that Sayori's death was handled as well, and how we just kind of like are kind of glossing over the fact that a child went missing and nobody like thought to look for her. Nobody at all. She has no family that would care. And also we just kind of let that body decompose in the secret library room. And how long did that take? How long did it take to get that stench out of there? But I guess you just kind of gotta kind of swallow some stuff. You kind of gotta make a stink face and swallow some things sometime for fiction's sake. I would hope that at some point her remains got buried with Shion. Like, I think that I wish they would have kind of done something like that. Like, after it was discovered that she was there, maybe, you know, somebody just kind of mentioned, hey, you know, also, we moved her out there to be with her Amitie, because obviously that was something that she very specifically wanted to happen. So those, and also I think the visual novel bullshit in this game specifically is just insane. I know that a bit of it is done in service of what they needed to do to kind of draw the contrast between Mayuri and Shion, and like to kind of do that little reveal when you press start the second time and oh, it's not Mayuri actually, you know, and that we're seeing the point of view from this time. And then, you know, I know that they had to do it for that reason, and that like the Mayuri end in and of itself was just to say, hey, we haven't told you everything yet. It's meant to be unsatisfying because Suo hasn't learned all of the answers yet. She may have gotten what she wanted, but she's missing a lot of the key ingredients that make it, you know, the thing that her heart needs, and her not realizing those things yet means that it's an unsatisfying ending. I get that, and I like that. It's just the really weird way that this series on the whole has gone about doing its ending structure. I think I just have not liked that at all. Like it feels kind of like weird having to get the good ending and then get the Rika ending and then go back and grab all of these other scenes and then do the grand finale. Like, I don't even know how you would know to do the grand finale without a guide. Like, I don't see anything there in the structure of the game that would tell you, hey, load this specific save at this point or play through the game again doing all green choices, and then you will get this different ending. I don't see how you're supposed to figure that out without a guide. So I just did not like I thought all of that stuff was kind of bad. That is stuff that comes with just playing visual novels, but I thought that stuff was really bad, especially in this one, especially when I don't know how you get that last scene, how you think to do that, like what's pointing you in that direction to do that again when you get the good ending and that feels like that's the end. Sure, you might think that there's more, but I don't know what would lead you down the path of, hey, just do all green choices again, or jump back to your save before the end of chapter 6 doing the good choices. Like I just don't know what would teach you that. But to move past all of that, I feel like the resolution to the Mayuri portion of the story, I feel like that really might throw people. But I was actually really big on how all of this being her decision was looked at through a pretty understanding lens of her needing to fulfill the familial hole in her heart. But she didn't handle it in the best way because, you know, the story finally acknowledges, oh, yeah, because she's a damn teenager, she's a kid. You know, and kids aren't going to make the best decisions in the moment. Like, I feel that it's 100% understandable that she needed to fulfill that before she could fully grasp how much she also needed the love that Suo offered, and to be able to finally accept that part of herself. She needed to nurture. Her heart needed that nourishment. Her heart needed to be nurtured in that way first, before she could have the wherewithal to look at herself and finally accept also, hey, I'm gay. And she's a kid, and she was given like what had to have been a really overwhelming choice by a respected adult, and she chose the one that would heal her heart the most right now. Like, the thing that hurt her the most was her mother's betrayal, and having time to fix that let her finally see that liking girls, especially Suo, is just a part of herself that she could finally accept. And similarly, in terms of like having to just accept things and understand one's own selfishness and maybe making decisions that aren't the best, it goes for Suo's investigation. Like, it's not wrong to say that she acts selfishly, even though her intentions are good. And through her interactions with Mayuri, she never kind of grasps the hint that Mayuri is maybe where she wants to be. Maybe she made this decision. She just doesn't let that thought enter her mind. She doesn't entertain that thought at all because of her own selfishness. But again, that comes from an understandable place, and she learns from it. Even in the bad endings, she realizes she was very well glossing over Mayuri's feelings because she was kind of putting her own feelings ahead of everything. On top of that, you just get this wonderful growth. The scene with Erika and Dahlia when they were having the moment of trying to get her to open up about what's really going on. That I think is one of the most powerful moments in the series, where Erika kind of just lets herself be vulnerable. In a way, in front of everybody. She just lets she lets her whole image go in the moment, because she wants to like, not absolve Dahlia, but to just like let her have a moment where she can feel like she can finally like face this. She doesn't have to run away from it. You know, she idolizes Dahlia, and she wants to be to her what Dahlia was able to be for her. She wants to be able to repay that, and I think that that's a really sweet and tender moment. It's the most emotionally raw and vulnerable moment in the series, I think. You get the Sasaki sisters, who I think you start to see them kind of peeling away from each other and doing their own things and being more their own person, which was a big thing in Autumn, in that Ringo wanted to be seen as more than just, Ichigo's sister. And you see, like, through her interactions with everyone, that they're kind of like just starting to do their own things now. Like, they're hanging out separately with other people, and that is also a good thing. Narine and Yuzuriha are starting to, go on their journey toward whatever the future holds for them. Chidori is just, you look at her from where she started. She's like just as much as Suo. You can look at where Chidori started in Ete, and where she is now by the end of this game, and she's such a caring, sweet, and fully realized person that's capable of like letting herself have emotions that aren't just like looking at things in the most logical, earnest way. That even though it might be the right way to look at things, maybe you can have a little flexibility. So this is a story about growth. It's a story about understanding. It's there's just so much. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do a more thorough video on the entire series, but I think that what this whole thing has done a great job of, this whole series, is being a story with a lot of wonderful messages and themes about understanding, patience, empathy, and communication. It handles it all very well, and I think that this is a story that's going to stick to my brain for a good long time, even the moments that kind of drive me crazy at times. I think that there's a lot here to pick apart. There's so much that you can look at that's going on in this story, where you look back with fresh eyes and you can see, oh, well, this was like relating to this, or they were, mirroring this character with this character, and it's just, there's a lot to think about. It's a wonderful little series. I can't recommend it highly enough. Like, this has definitely been one of the most satisfying visual novels that I've read in a long time. And I hope that you enjoyed coming on the journey with me. Like I said, I'm gonna try and do a series kind of retrospective video. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to do that. I'm just kind of busy a lot lately, and maybe I've kind of been able to express all of my thoughts at the end of each of these games, good enough. We'll see. I would ideally like to, but I'm not gonna sit here and make the promise that I will and then it just never show up. So I would like to, but we'll see where things go. And if that video doesn't show up, it just means that I think I was able to say what I wanted, and if I didn't say something that I wanted, that it's something that you can think about on your own, because that's what these things are all about. It's one of the things why I've had such a great time in the Flowers Discord, discussing these games with all of the people there. It's been a wonderful time. So, man, this is really it. This is the end of the journey. So, if you've joined me through either this whole shebang or just wanted to come along and see all your favorite parts, then thank you so much. It's always appreciated. The fact that anybody would spend any amount of their free time with me reading stories on the internet and then making dumb commentary over them, that is quite the compliment. I don't know why you like doing that, but I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth, and I'll thank you very much for doing so. And of course, I always hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, wherever you are, and hopefully we'll catch you next time with whatever it is, whatever world we end up in once again together. If you're along for the ride, that'll be great. If this is where we part, then it's been great having you along. But for now, I'm gonna bounce on out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Flowers, for being an amazing piece of work. And we'll catch you down the road.